Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today, the death of local weather. Yeah, one major owner of ABC, NBC, Fox, and CBS stations are firing all their meteorologists and going to a national model. We'll tell you what's happening there, and they're not the first to test out this idea. We'll talk about some others that are doing it, how this could be the future of weather coverage. Also, DVRs became legal not that long ago. It's hard to believe that it was in a recent history. TV studios were suing to stop people being able to record their TV programs and watch them later. And FanDuel, the sports network that replaced Bally Sports, has a deal now to come to Amazon, and they hint that they may be lowering the price of their service. We'll tell you about these stories and a whole lot more in a second. First, though, if you want to learn more about them, check out the show notes and in the first pinned comment, pull a link to each story there so you can read them for yourself and come up with your own opinions. I'd love to hear from you. If you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that thumbs up. Doing one or both lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, so YouTube recommends our videos to more people, helping us grow and hopefully helping you break free from the high costs of TV. Now, with that said, let's dive into it. The Allen Media Group, who also owns the Weather Channel, we'll talk about that, that's important in a moment, has announced, well, they didn't announce it, but some of their meteorologists did, that they're laying off all their meteorologists at all 22 owned local stations. Well, that may not sound like much. They're not the first to do this. Instead, they'll be replacing them with a national weather broadcast from the Weather Channel. So they own the Weather Channel. They're going to be having a team of people pre-recording national weather, kind of like what you see on a lot of local radio stations now, where you get this national weather from the Weather Channel or maybe from a local TV station or something where they pre-record it and runs just quick clips there. It allows one person to record multiple radio stations in that case or TV stations weather, allowing the Allen Media Group to cut how much they're paying. The downside is you don't get quite as much focused. There's not meteorologists just looking at your local weather 24/7. I'm sure there's a major weather event, they'll have a Weather Channel personality cut in and give coverage that way. But sadly, a lot of these people, meteorologists, are losing their jobs with this. Now, they're not the only ones doing this. CBS has tested this for some different broadcasts for local weather to offer a national weather feed to help local TV stations cut back. I think I've heard some use this for weekends, some for weekdays, depending on what broadcast you're on with that. But overall, we're seeing increasing growth to try to cut costs. As ad revenue plummets, I talk about this all the time, ad revenue for TV stations are plummeting, and these local news are run by ad revenue. So am I. You're watching an ad here, and I'm getting ad here. But because of that, they're trying to cut back on the amount of money that they're paying, and because of that, they're really cutting staff and going national. I suspect we'll see many local TV stations do this in the future, especially in smaller markets. We're already seeing things like Sinclair either shut down all local news coverage or have one TV station. For example, in North Carolina, I think it's North Carolina or South Carolina, don't count me on this. Their local news actually gets recorded in the studio out of San Antonio, Texas. So the San Antonio, Texas will do 2 broadcasts out of that studio. Same staff doing first the Greensboro one and then the Texas feed, allowing them to cut back. One person doing multiple shows is a lot more cost effective. Look for this to become more and more common as TV stations cut back on local news, which I think is kind of rough because first we lost newspapers, increasingly radio stations don't have their own news teams anymore, and now local TV stations are cutting back on news also. News and weather. All right, next story up. FanDuel Network is hinting at a price drop. Now, FanDuel has said that they plan to launch on Amazon in the next month or so. This will be an add-on through Amazon Prime channels where you can subscribe to FanDuel and watch it right in your Amazon Prime app, much like you do with like Paramount Plus and other streaming services. You can be managed and subscribed through Amazon. But the CEO over there has said that they are considering some new pricing models and they have some room to go down in pricing. It'll be interesting. They have struggled to find a following with this. I think maybe didn't get quite as big as maybe they had hoped. And then a price cut may help them try to attract new subscribers. We'll keep a close eye on this. But FanDuel Sports Network used to be called Bally Sports. It's been rebranded. They have renewed quite a few sports contracts, but a lot of them are only for 1 year, making this a kind of a make it or break it year coming up, especially for Major League Baseball, for FanDuel Sports Networks. Cutting the price may help attract new subscribers, which may help keep their contract with the MLB, NBA, and NHL teams that they're trying to impress. We'll keep an eye on this and let you know if they actually do cut the price and when it's live on Amazon. All right, it's hard to believe that not that long ago, 40 years ago, TV studios were saying that recording your TV programs should be illegal. But the U.S. Supreme Court ruled last week in 1984 that no, people have the right to be able to record their programs, and with that, they can go and now DVR. At the time, this was about VHS cassettes. Now that's used for DVR, something that many of us can't live without. Increasingly, people don't watch many programs live. Instead, they DVR them or watch them on demand later. While that became legal over 41 years ago today with that deal. All right, MSNBC, CNBC, and others are being spun out into an independent company away from NBCUniversal. Many had raised questions about would this result in MSNBC being rebranded? What about CNBC? Now with this, the new head of the company that will be taken over, Lazarus, I think is how you say the last name. I apologize if that's not how you say it. My sincere apologies. And an employee, while addressing employees during a meeting, took some questions and said, I know there was some discussions with this MSNBC name. So he basically said, don't worry, it's not being changed for the foreseeable future, so it could still change. And then went on to say, so you can take that off your worry list on things. So for now, MSNBC and CNBC, it sounds like they're keeping their names, even though they won't be directly related to NBC anymore. Though I suspect there'll be some type of partnership for some cash. We'll see how that all plays out. This spin off is not done yet. It's expected to happen later this year. We'll keep a close eye on once we know more. We'll let you know. But for now, MSNBC and CNBC keeping their names. Speaking of news networks, CNN will reportedly make some major program shifts, including moving Wolf Blitzer from his Situation 6 p.m. report to the morning, according to a report from the New York Post. This comes as CNN tries to find a way to attract new viewers as the ratings severely plummeted after the last election. Keep a close eye on this. They're being hit by the same thing that everybody is. Low ratings equal lower dollar amounts, and ads, which are already down. Putting some new people in the morning may help them stand out against Fox News, MSNBC, and others. All right, next story up. If you're a fan of MeTV Tunes, we got a classic. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are coming to MeTV Tunes. No date has been announced for when this will happen, but they have confirmed it is happening. So keep a close eye on it. Link in the show notes there. But MeTV Tunes has to be one of the most successful network launches in some time. It's taking people by storm. I think a big part of the fact that it's available free with a Nintendo really helping. Plus, it's on low-cost services like Friendly TV and Philo. It's attracting a lot of new viewers to it. We'll keep a close eye on this, but interesting to see them move this direction, and that they will bring more and more newer content on there. I think that's a trend you'll see going forward as the joint venture between MeTV and Warner Brothers Discovery tries to continue to grow its audience. Seems to be doing very well at that. Leave me a comment. Are you a fan of MeTV Tunes? Love to hear from you. And lastly, in our last story, Fox Sports has struck a deal with Live Golf. This is the PGA competitor, though there's talk about a merger and all kinds of things coming. Details still in the works. With this, Fox Sports will air 14 global tournaments on, of course, Fox Sports 1, Fox, FS2, Fox Business, and the Fox Sports app. Now, Live Sports struggled to find a TV partner, originally airing on YouTube and then moving over to the CW. Word was the CW network may not have actually paid. They just did an ad revenue split deal. And now Fox, looking to expand sports. I've said this many times. Sports are one of the few things people watch live. Has struck a deal. They want more sports. They had previously had some PGA or some major golf ones. I don't know if it was PGA or some off or the other tournaments. But they gave up those rights some time ago and turned them over to, I think it was NBC absorbed those rights. Now they're getting back into golf with Live Golf as they look for a way to be successful with that. We'll keep a close eye on this, but look for more sports to come to more TV. It's interesting to see Fox Business so prominently displayed there that they'll air Live Golf tournaments. Sports, it's just where people are. It's what people are watching, and because of that, TV networks are going to try to get more and more of it. That's why we're seeing things like pickleball tournaments in prime time on CBS last year. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Don't forget, I'll put a link to each story I talk about in the show notes down below. You can find it there. Until next time, take care, be safe. I'll talk to you all again real soon.